the eerie sound of a rusted graveyard gate slowly grinding open. The view is into impenetrable darkness. Torrential rain begins to fall with a roar, and a distant clap of thunder rumbles ominously. In the heart of a storm, when the sky weeps and thunder speaks, the veil between worlds thins. Some places already steeped in death and sorrow become charged with a terrifying energy. Tonight, we journey into the world's most haunted graveyards, where the fury of the elements awakens the restless spirits within. Our first stop is St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 in New Orleans, a city of the dead, where above-ground crypts form a labyrinthine maze. As a tropical thunderstorm unleashes its fury, rain streaks down weathered stone, and lightning illuminates ornate ironwork and crumbling facades. Visitors here, caught in the downpour, speak of a chilling sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. They report hearing a faint, melodic chanting carried on the wind, a sound almost lost in the roar of thunder. For a fleeting moment, a voodoo symbol appears on a tomb, vividly outlined by a lightning flash. Then atop a prominent crypt, a shadowy, regal female figure in period dress materializes. Her eyes glow faintly as a blinding bolt of lightning defines her form before she dissipates back into the torrential rain. We travel next to the windswept Howard Street Cemetery in Salem, Massachusetts, a place forever marked by the hysteria of the witch trials. Ancient colonial-era gravestones, many bearing skull and crossbones motifs, are shrouded in thick fog and driving rain. Bare tree branches claw at a bruised, thundering sky. Witnesses describe sudden, inexplicable drops in temperature that chill them to the bone. Faint accusatory whispers of disembodied voices are carried on the wind, briefly audible between thunderclaps. Most unsettling is the image of a noose swaying from an old tree, starkly lit for a horrifying instant by lightning. It is here that the ghost of Giles Corey's wife is seen, a gaunt, distressed figure bound in ethereal chains. Her face, contorted in a silent scream, is momentarily revealed against a tree trunk by a violent lightning flash. Our journey then takes us to the desolate Boot Hill Cemetery in Tombstone, Arizona. Here, simple wooden grave markers stand against a rare torrential desert downpour. The ground turns to thick mud, reflecting the angry sky as intense lightning flashes. Amidst the storm, people have heard the phantom sound of gunshots echoing through the rain, followed by the distinct smell of gunpowder mixed with wet earth. A shadowy figure is sometimes seen hunched over a grave, illuminated by a lightning strike, only to be gone a second later. In this maelstrom, a rugged, spectral cowboy, hat brim pulled low, appears beside a marked grave. His form glows eerily in a blinding lightning flash before he vanishes back into the driving rain. From the desert, we cross to the coast, to the old burying ground in Halifax, Nova Scotia. This historic maritime cemetery is lashed by a fierce coastal storm where rain and sea spray mingle in the air. As thunder rolls ominously over the turbulent ocean, witnesses have heard the mournful clang of a ship's bell carried on the gale. Others report a faint, phosphorescent glow of a figure moving between the stones, or a sudden, inexplicable surge of cold water washing over a tombstone, illuminated by a flash of lightning. A stoic, transparent figure in old military attire is said to stand motionless here, his form briefly solidified by a lightning bolt as he looks out towards the stormy sea, keeping an eternal vigil. Finally, we arrive at the legendary Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in New York. Its picturesque rolling hills and ancient trees are veiled in mist and a chilling rain. Distant thunder rumbles as lightning briefly illuminates Gothic architecture and winding paths. Visitors caught in the storm report the terrifying sound of a galloping horse, its hooves splashing in puddles, growing louder and louder before abruptly ceasing. A fleeting dark shadow darts between tombstones, momentarily elongated by a lightning flash. Then, for a terrifying instant, a headless silhouette on horseback is silhouetted against the stormy sky atop a hill, made clear by a powerful lightning strike before galloping silently into the darkness. A rapid, disorienting montage of the ghost reveals the regal voodoo queen, the chained woman of Salem, the rugged cowboy, the stoic soldier, and the headless horseman. Each apparition flickers in and out of existence, illuminated by violent lightning and underscored by deafening thunder, intensifying the sense of dread. These graveyards, already gateways to the past, become something more during a storm. They are theaters of the supernatural, where the fury of nature and the sorrow of souls collide. As the final clap of thunder fades and the rain subsides, A silhouetted figure stands motionless, its features obscured by the departing gloom, leaving us to wonder what truly awakens when the heavens rage. The gate groans open on rusted hinges, a gaping maw into impenetrable darkness. A sudden downpour begins, lashing against ancient stone as distant thunder rumbles. A low, ominous promise of the terror to come. These are the world's most haunted graveyards, where the veil between worlds thins and the dead do not rest, especially not in the heart of a storm. Our descent into darkness begins at Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Illinois. Here, a desolate, mist-shrouded landscape of decaying, leaning headstones surrounds an unnervingly still black pond. As torrential rain lashes down, obscuring vision, flashes of lightning reveal skeletal trees reflected on the water's surface. Witnesses speak of fleeting, shadowy distortions near the water's edge, barely visible through the downpour, accompanied by an unsettling, almost inaudible whisper that seems to coil around you. In the woods, an inexplicable flicker of light is momentarily illuminated by a lightning strike. Suddenly, through the driving rain and mist, a gaunt, luminous figure materializes. Her form shifts, and a blinding flash of lightning reveals hollow eyes staring into your soul before she plunges back into the darkness. Next, we are drawn to the windswept desolation of Stull Cemetery in Kansas, a gateway to hell itself. Under a perpetually bruised sky, crumbling stone structures and twisted barren trees claw at the heavens. Gusting winds whip the rain sideways as thunder cracks directly overhead. Imagine your car engine dying abruptly on the deserted road leading to this place, buffeted by the storm's fury. A sudden lightning flash reveals a malevolent silhouette in your rearview mirror, a horrifying presence that vanishes as quickly as it appeared. Within the cemetery walls, a formless, rapidly moving shadow darts between the decaying monuments, momentarily solidified into a menacing shape by a violent lightning strike, then gone, leaving only the sound of the raging storm. We then journey to the ancient sun-bleached desert of Peru and the Chorchilla Cemetery. Here, mummified remains lie exposed in shallow, gaping pits, their vacant eyes staring into the void for centuries. A sudden, violent sandstorm whips through, mingling with sparse, heavy rain and the crackle of dry thunder. Night vision footage has captured subtle, deliberate movements among the mummies, as if they are stirring amidst the swirling sand and rain. Faint, guttural murmurs emanate from the earth itself, competing with the wind. A palpable, suffocating energy presses down, the air shimmering with unspoken horrors, briefly taking the form of a distorted, ancient face caught in a lightning flash among the skeletal remains. In Scotland, the labyrinthine Greyfriars Kirkyard awaits. Towering, moss-covered mausoleums and narrow, oppressive pathways become a shadow-choked maze as torrential rain creates rivers in the paths. Here, the Mackenzie poltergeist is most active. You feel sudden, bone-chilling drops in temperature, like a spectral touch against your skin. Unexplained, stinging scratches appear on your arms. An unseen object impacts stone nearby, the sound barely audible over the echoing thunder. A malevolent, tangible darkness seems to follow you, its presence felt rather than seen. Suddenly, it coalesces into a dark, clawed hand reaching from behind a tomb, vividly illuminated by a lightning bolt, before disappearing back into the abyss. Returning to Illinois, we encounter the legend of Resurrection Mary. A deserted, fog-laden road leads to the foreboding entrance of Resurrection Cemetery. As the relentless storm rages, a pale, forlorn young woman in a white dress appears on the roadside, drenched but strangely unaffected by the rain. A driver stops. She enters the car, but as the vehicle passes the cemetery gates, she inexplicably vanishes. A flash of lightning illuminates the empty seat, a lingering scent of decay hanging in the stormy air. For a horrifying instant, her translucent, sorrowful apparition appears in the back seat, hollow eyes staring directly at you, then gone. Finally, we arrive at Highgate Cemetery in London, a quintessential Victorian Gothic nightmare. Grand decaying monuments and intricate crypts are half hidden by gnarled trees, casting oppressive shadows under a fierce electrical storm. The infamous Highgate vampire is said to roam these grounds. A sudden, inexplicable cold is followed by an overwhelming sense of dread. You catch fleeting glimpses of a towering, impossibly lean figure with eyes that burn with an inner malevolent fire, its form briefly sharp against a lightning flash. Staring from the depths of a crypt, a formidable, shadowy entity fixes its glowing red eyes on you, its cape rustling with the storm's energy, vividly revealed by a final, blinding flash. As the storm reaches its crescendo, the most terrifying images flash before your eyes. A gaunt face, a menacing shadow, a skeletal hand, a sorrowful ghost, and burning red eyes, all illuminated by violent lightning and deafening thunder. At the graveyard entrance, a silhouetted figure stands battered by the wind and rain. It slowly turns its head, staring directly into the camera. In a final, climactic lightning flash, its eyes glow a malevolent red before the screen cuts to black, swallowed by an earth-shattering thunderclap. As the rusted iron of an old graveyard gate grinds open, its groan echoing into an impenetrable darkness, a sudden downpour begins. Distant thunder rumbles, a low, ominous promise of the storm to come, as we step into the world's most haunted cemeteries. Our first stop is Stull Cemetery in Kansas, a place many believe to be one of the 7 gateways to hell itself. Under a perpetually bruised and turbulent sky, the cemetery lies windswept and ancient. Crumbling stone structures and twisted barren trees claw at the heavens as gusting winds whip the rain sideways. Thunder cracks directly overhead, shaking the very ground. Witnesses tell of their car engines dying abruptly on the deserted road leading to the cemetery, the vehicle buffeted by the relentless storm. In the sudden, blinding flash of lightning, a malevolent silhouette is glimpsed in the rearview mirror before vanishing. Others have seen a faint, glowing red symbol appear on the foundation of the ruined church, intensifying with each lightning strike. As the storm rages, a formless, rapidly moving shadow darts between the decaying monuments. For a fleeting moment, a violent lightning strike solidifies the shadow into a menacing, horned shape, said to be the devil himself, before it dissolves back into the night. Next, we travel to the shadow-choked labyrinth of Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, Scotland, home to the Mackenzie poltergeist. Towering, moss-covered mausoleums create narrow, oppressive pathways as torrential rain turns the walkways into small rivers. The heavy thunder seems to echo through the ancient stone, amplifying the sense of dread. Here, visitors report sudden, bone-chilling drops in temperature, often accompanied by unprovoked cuts and bruises appearing on their skin. Some have felt the sting of unseen claws raking across their flesh, or heard the unsettling sound of a small object impacting stone nearby, a sharp crack barely audible over the storm. It is said that a malevolent, tangible darkness follows you through the kirkyard. Its presence is felt more than seen, a heavy pressure in the air until it suddenly coalesces. In a vivid flash of lightning, a dark, clawed hand is seen reaching from behind the black mausoleum before it is once again consumed by the shadows. We then journey to the romantic yet eerie expanse of Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. This vast, undulating city of the dead, with its intricate mausoleums and ornate gravestones, is drenched in rain. Lightning illuminates Gothic sculptures and winding cobblestone paths as distant thunder rumbles over the city. Near the grave of Jim Morrison, people have heard the faint, sorrowful strains of a melancholic melody carried on the wind. By Victor Noir's tomb, a site said to bring fertility, visitors have caught a fleeting glimpse of a dark, elegant figure, its outline sharpened by a lightning strike. The unsettling feeling of a cold breath on the back of the neck is a common report amidst the storm. Here you might see a somber, well-dressed apparition, perhaps Morrison himself, standing with a lingering sadness beside his ivy-covered monument, or illuminated by a sudden, brilliant flash, the translucent form of Victor Noir might appear for a startling moment. In Atlanta, Georgia, we find ourselves in the sprawling Victorian garden of Oakland Cemetery, specifically its Confederate section, now soaked in a heavy, mournful rain. Under a dark, thundering sky, this place is alive with echoes of the past. Witnesses have heard the faint, sorrowful strains of distant Civil War-era music, like Dixie or taps, drifting through the storm. Others have seen the ghostly sight of flickering lanterns moving through the field of graves, as if spectral soldiers are still searching for their lost comrades. During a flash of lightning, a faint red glow on a monument is said to briefly intensify, a manifestation of a bleeding heart. The most common sighting is the spectral form of a Confederate soldier, his uniform tattered, standing guard over a grave. His translucent figure is made clear by a lightning flash, his face etched with an eternal sorrow as he forever patrols these hallowed grounds. Our final destination is the Western Burial Ground in Baltimore, Maryland, the resting place of Edgar Allan Poe. This deeply aged cemetery is filled with crumbling ancient gravestones, many belonging to figures from American history. A relentless cold rain soaks the grounds, creating a somber and oppressive atmosphere. Near Poe's grave, some have heard the rustle of unseen papers or the turning of pages, as if the master of macabre is still writing. The faint, echoing sound of a somber, poetic voice reciting verses is said to be carried on the wind. During a powerful lightning strike, a dark, brooding shadow has been seen detaching from a monument near Poe's grave, a shadow believed to be his own tormented spirit, forever bound to the place where his body lies.